Hi guys, Tony here. Part 2 of the video series that I'm doing, the video blogging that I'm doing on mind control of humanity. And this one is a really big one. Was a toss-up between this one and the previous one I did on problem, reaction, solution. This one's going to be on divide and rule, which is going on massively in our world at the moment. We're seeing it everywhere. People are unfortunately hating against each other. We're looking at the wrong people, in effect. We're not looking at the people that are really behind the cause of the problems. We're looking at the people created by the people that are causing the problems as the problems. Now, this technique is called divide and rule. It's been going on in humanity for thousands of years, and it's very, very effective. Now, I'm just going to read you a quote from a book called The Art of War by Machiavelli. And it says, "A captain should endeavour with every art to divide the forces of the enemy, either by making him suspicious of his men, or by giving him cause that he has to separate his forces, and because of this becomes weaker." Now guys, this is exactly what is happening to us. We are being controlled by a very tyrannical, corrupt force, and they are doing everything they can to keep us divided. They're pushing out all this stuff on the media, which they control as well, and a lot of people are swallowing it, and a lot of people who are within the so-called truth movement are also lapping this up as well, which is really worrying, guys, because never more in history do we need to stick together. And that really is what they are absolutely terrified of, is humanity coming together as one and actually looking at the real problem and saying, do you know what, we're not having it anymore. But instead we're going around like small children in a playground, really, and we're separating each other, we're causing division, and it's really working against us, and people need to wake up to this. I'm not saying that there's not bad factions in all kinds of societies, in all kinds of religions, in all kinds of races, but let's have an even playing field here. You get white murderers as well as you get black murderers, you get bad Christians as well as you get bad Muslims, and this is where it's completely pushed on us. And it's completely out of balance. So I'm just going to touch on a few of the ways that they do divide us. And the first one is within race: black, white, Chinese, European. Guys, we all bleed the same blood. We have our cultures, we should celebrate our cultures. But at the end of the day, there's no point being segregated just by the colour of your skin. You don't take dogs for a walk down the park, and they don't talk to other dogs, or they might have a little bicker, but you know what I mean. They don't sort of hate on each other. They go and lick each other and greet each other and all that sort of stuff. Not saying that we should lick each other, but you get my point. Race is just the colour of your skin. There's nothing more, nothing less. And as I say, yeah, there might be bad white people, there might be bad black people, there might be bad Chinese people, there might be bad Kiwis, there might be bad whatever. You can't segregate a whole society on a few people. Okay, my idea in life is to take people at face value. If it doesn't feel right, or I don't get good vibes, then I'll walk away. But we don't do it like that. We see a Muslim, or so we see a black person, or we see an Indian person, and we judge them straight away without even talking to them. I mean, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. It's childish. We haven't grown up in that respect, and they will do everything, the media, to push this division. When do you ever turn on the news and hear about white people doing murders? Sometimes you do, but a lot of the time it's, black people murdering, black people mugging, and they never use the word white person in the media. Today a white person murdered another person. So why do they say a black person? This is mind control, guys, and we need to wake up to it. Okay? Second one is nationality. This is a huge one. I'm glad last night I had a debate on Facebook with someone who is very, he knows his stuff historically, and he's very much into, the English and protecting our borders and all this and all that. And I was saying to him, like, where do you think borders came from? Borders are not part of nature. They weren't here when the earth was created. Someone created them. Okay? Why were they created? They were created to divide us, which geographically they do. Okay? So you've got Polish hating Germans, you've got Dutch hating Germans, you've got Canadians hating Americans, and you've got French hating English and English hating French, and by our borders. Okay, some of it's down to history as well, but putting those invisible lines there means that we have this separateness from each other when we are all connected, whether you like it or not. Energetically, you could be a diehard English with your George flag, but you are energetically connected to a French person. You are energetically connected to a Scottish person. So the idea of nationalities is absolutely ludicrous. And, we see it very subtly in things like football. I mean, I love watching football. Not so much these days because it's got out of hand with all the money and everything. But still, I like to watch it. But, you see the World Cup with people, with these teams lined up, singing their national anthems of their country. Beating the heart, beating the drums. We must beat the English, we must beat the Germans, and that's very subtle. You may only think that it's sport, it's football, it's a game of football, but this all goes into the subconscious mind, and it all divides us, it all separates us from each other again. So we need to realise that, I might be from England, and you might be from wherever, Nigeria. But you're still my brother, you're still my sister, and sometimes we might not like what each other is doing, but we're still connected. And instead of hating on each other, let's try and make people understand where they're going wrong. So that's a big one. And these borders, these invisible borders, have been around for thousands of years. They change every now and then to give us the illusion that we've got some sort of choice if we make enough noise. But in the whole, borders, nationalities really, they don't do much. And I'm not saying not to have our cultures. Let's celebrate our cultures. But when it gets out of hand, where you've got people saying, "Oh, you can't come to my country," or "What are these people doing in my country?" You were just born here, for fuck's sake. You were born here by chance. You were born on that patch of land by chance. I think George Carlin says it's just, I forget what he says, but he says something about it. So yeah, nationalities. Celebrate your cultures, celebrate the differences, but don't get bogged down in it. It's just an invisible border. And the fact that we have to go through all this passport control and everything to get to another piece of the earth, it's just control. It's mind control. They've locked it in our minds that we've got these nationalities, we have to have these borders to abide by. And it's just insanity. They've divided the world up. Who the fuck says they can do that? It's as I say, these did not exist before. It's crazy. Another few ways that they use these tactics. Politics is another one. You know, I got it said to me last night. Oh, leftist, rightist, middleist, whatever the fuck they are. It's just insane. I mean, if you haven't worked out that politics is one big illusion by now, then you really need to start waking up. You know, we don't have choice. We have the illusion of choice. That's why when you vote for someone, nothing ever changes. You know, the Prime Minister is, I think, the fourth cousin to the Queen or something. Prime Ministers are chosen beforehand. You know, we don't have one iota of choice. But anyway, it's sort of veering off a little bit. But politics, I mean, you'll get situations where, oh, I won't talk to him, he's leftist. Or his views are too right-wing. Or, you know, he votes Conservative. He's a Liberal Democrat. You know, I don't want to socialise with people that vote Labour. Again, it's just division. It's just the illusion of choice. How can they separate us even more? Instead of us all coming together and saying, well, hang on a minute, this political system, this so-called democracy, doesn't quite appear to be working. So maybe we should come together and do something about this. But no, you've got people that won't talk to each other because, you know, they vote for a different colour, you know, every 4 years and think they've got choice. Fucking crazy. You know, we're in a mental asylum. But again, it's divide and rule, because while we're at each other's throats, they can keep on abusing the kids, they can keep on starting the illegal wars. Okay? So, politics, we've got religion. This is a huge one. We're seeing it play out at the moment. Not a day goes by where there is not a story about a Muslim in the paper or in the news. And don't forget, the media is controlled by, I think, about 4 or 5 companies, and the media is controlled by the people that are abusing the kids and that are starting the wars. And what do they want to do? They want to keep you divided. And how do they do that? Push Muslims on, push Islamophobia on you all the time. You must hate Islam, you must hate Muslims. I'm not saying that there's not a faction of Muslims that may have bad intentions. To be honest, the amount of wars we've started in their countries, you know, you can't blame some of them for getting a little bit pissed off with us. But it's not the majority. I walk the streets of London. I never get a halal meat forced down my throat. All this, we're under attack. I never get a Muslim come up to me. I've never had a Muslim come up to me and bother me. If anything, I've had more English people come up to me and bother me in my lifetime. You know, this is ludicrous, and people are sucking it in. Turn off the television. They are programming your mind with their programs. This wasn't created for your entertainment. This was created to control your mind. And it's doing a bloody good job at the moment. You know, these sites like Britain First and, you know, spreading hate. Because I'm not religious, but it's everyone's right to believe in what they want. And of course, if you have people that start trouble intentionally, and I'm not saying that there isn't a faction of Muslims, of Christians, of, you know, I mean, there's even Buddhists that fight. Do you ever hear about them? No, of course you don't, because they're not bothered about that. They're bothered about us believing in this war against the Muslims, so then they can go and bomb more innocent people. It's clear as day. If you open your eyes and you turn off the television, you'll see it. So please, you know, look at religion. You know, celebrate your religion, celebrate your cultures, but don't think that everyone that's a Muslim or everyone that's a Christian or whatever is out to kill you, or is out to harm you, or is out to force you to eat halal, or is going to be knocking on your door. I've heard this one recently. They're worried that Muslims are going to be knocking on their door, telling them to start obeying Sharia law. I mean, fucking hell, really? We're much more closer to a microchip population under a new world order, which is where they want to take it, than we are Sharia law. Trust me. So wake up, guys. There's other ways they control us as well. Sexuality, not control, divide us. Sexuality, gay, straight, lesbian. Who bloody cares? It's your right as a human being. You have your own free will. You can see who you want. Not talking to someone because they're gay. Not feeling comfortable around someone because they're gay. Or, they once kissed a girl or whatever. Again, it's division. It's fine. It's fine. Get on with it. As long as you're not causing harm to anyone else, then there's no reason to even focus on it. So that's another one. The other big one at the moment is class. So we have the poor, we have the middle, and obviously we have the richer. And what they've done quite cleverly is they've got everyone to start blaming the poor by causing all this austerity, and then they very cleverly have worked a system whereby you can kind of not work and still live quite a reasonable life, which for these people that are doing it, you can't blame them because, well, if you've got a family and you can get more money doing something rather than another way, you're going to do it. So they've got the middle class hating the poor. Everyone's envying the rich, and who are the real winners again? It's the people in power. You look at that what was that program? That street, I forget what it was called. Where they were all on the dole. It was awful propaganda, and people did really wake up to it. Benefit Street, yeah, where they really demonised these people, and there was uproar from a lot of people. A lot of people were in like, oh, these people sponging, blah blah blah. Don't worry about the politicians not paying any taxes, or the big corporations not paying any taxes. You just blame your brother or sister down the street. Why aren't you looking at these? Why not? Because the television's telling you not to, and you're too bloody stupid not to think for yourself. These are the people we've got to start looking at. The royal family. What are they doing to contribute? Apart from supporting paedophiles and knighting them. Where's the uproar on them from a lot of people? Still nothing. No, but a programme comes out about a few poor people and that's it. Facebook messages, tweets. Think for yourself. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up now because it's going on. But this is another big way that we're being mind controlled into shaping society. So I hope you found it helpful. Thanks for the support in the first video. I've had over 600 views so far in about 48 hours, which I don't know what the statistics are, but seem pretty reasonable for a first effort. And I've started a Twitter page. It's Mind Control Tony, and you can catch me on Facebook, Tony Sayers. But yeah, I hope you found this helpful, and have a good day, and I will be doing another one shortly. So much love to you all. Alright, cheers, bye.